Hey, what's up? My name is Stacy and this is my new video. Finally, I'm sorry that I wasn't filming for that long. My laptop doesn't want me to edit and my editing app doesn't work, so I have to edit on my sister's computer and this is kind of difficult, and also I wasn't in that mood to film videos and because of my studies, many reasons, but let's just forget it. And yes, this is my new video and today I'm gonna talk about my library. Well, kind of library, because I have not that many books, but they're all interesting and they're all part of me, and that's all books I've read or I'm gonna read. Let's get started. So first of all, I'm gonna show you my English books. Some of them I haven't read yet, and one of them is my favorite, actually, one of them. So some of these books I took from my father to teach some new words on English, and they're classic, kind of. First one is Main Street by Sinclair Lewis, and second one is Lucky Jim by Kingsley Amis. And yeah, there's these books I'm learning from them new words on English, so yeah, I'm just practicing. And my first actual English book, first actual YouTuber's book, it is a work in progress. I know that I've talked about this book many times, but this is just amazing book and I started to translate it just to know new words. It's book of my favorite YouTuber of all times, and of course I love it. And yeah, I just recommend to read everyone, even if you don't know English that well, to read books. Just you can see translations all around the internet, and I really hope to get second book of Connor. What Connor does is it's the best thing. So next book is series of book. I have just one. This one is about time traveling. This is from Russian author and I love it. This is kind of like timeless, but they're about like pre-teenager, and this one is great. This is very interesting book. Next one, who can guess? This is my favorite of all time, The Twilight, and this is actually the last part. I don't have first three parts because I took them from library, from actual library, not like this. And yeah, they were all great, and I saw this in the shop for like really low price, and I said to me, wow, I can buy it and I'm going to buy it. Yeah, so this is Break It Down. I talked about these books for a million times and I think I'm not gonna stop. I just read all these books and I watched all the movies and I rewatched all the movies actually on English and on Russian. I think I'm not gonna stop because Twilight is forever. I thought that this book is awful and films are awful and everything is just screwed up, but this one is brilliant. Next one is two series of books. I have two of them, but one of them is right now at my classmates because she's reading it. This is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. This is part 2, and this book is just something. I really like all the pictures in the book. I read it like at one breath because this is so interesting, and also author of these books, Ransom Riggs, gonna be publishing new books, new trilogy. I can say it is about these characters or about another, this world or not, but this book is really interesting and it's not about the movie at all. And I just wanna say I like this book. This is one of my favorites actually. Next one I haven't read yet. This one, Love Rosie. I talk about movie and I liked it very much. I talked about in July favorites or June favorites, something like this. And actually about a year later I bought the book, and this is from Cecilia Ahern. and I'm excited to read it after I'm gonna finish another book, what I'm reading now. And yes, I'm sure that this book gonna be great as a movie. Next book that I'm reading right now, it is Hunger Games, second part. I have first part too, but it is at my friend's. She's reading it right now. Yeah. So this is second part. I hope everyone watched the movie. If you didn't, just go watch it, or firstly read this, because this is amazing. I don't really like this like anti-utopia things or even utopia things. I like everything or in past or right now, not in like future. This is shown not the best world it can be with Hunger Games, and this story is awesome. I love it and recommend everyone to read it. I'm fan of fantasy, as you can tell. Next one is one of my first books for all of my life. This is The Chronicles of Narnia. Look how big is it. I'm pretty sure that I haven't read it all, even if I got the book like 5 years ago. I'm sorry, but this is so big, and actually I wasn't about to read anything what gave me uncle. This one about time traveling and Harry Potter and The Chronicles of Narnia, I didn't want to read at all, but I started reading from my first book, Harry Potter, and then this book, and then there's just, I get crazy and I love books right now. So thanks to my uncle, because if not him, I wouldn't be reading right now. So thanks. And this is actually really good story for kids, and not even for kids. I think it's great, and I like all the movies. Yeah, that's just great. This is from Clive S. Lewis, and you have to read it. This is just must have to read for all times. Next one I actually took from my grandparents' house, from my grandparents' library. They have just giant library of classic books, and this one is Arthur Conan Doyle. I took it just for Sherlock Holmes, but there are also many interesting things there. This is first part, there are just 6 or 7 books in all of them. They're just Arthur Conan Doyle, but I love Sherlock Holmes, and I remember that when I was traveling to Kiev the last year, I was reading it all day long because I liked it, and I like it now. This is classic, so yeah, I read classic and I like it, and I think if you're a fan of Sherlock Holmes, you have to read this book. Next one is last book that I read. It is Fault in Our Stars by John Green. I wasn't watching film until I'm gonna read this book. I did it. I actually read first, then watched the video. And this is my second book of John Green. Before that, I read Finding Alaska on my phone. I like it too. This one is just brilliant. This is amazing, and I like it. And actually, everyone should read it. This is really tragic story, but I just couldn't stop reading it. I took this book everywhere I went, to the park, to the cafe, to the school, and just read it at home. And last but not least, my first book ever, Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, or is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. There is 2 options. This is by J.K. Rowling, and I think everyone knows this series. I'm right now on the book 4. This is the Goblet of Fire. I read it on my phone because again, I don't have enough money to buy that many books. I'm now Potterhead. I'm now just fan of books, and yeah. So that was all of my library, that's all of my favorite books. I hope you like them, and there is gonna be a list of them down below, so you have to read every single one of them. That's it. If you like this video, click the thumbs up and comment down below what was your first book ever, and do you actually love to read, and what's your favorite book? yeah, there is 3 questions, answer them, and subscribe to my channel. Obviously, I love when you do that. And be yourself, love yourself, and never give up. Sincerely, your Stacy.